Today on the Definitely Loud podcast, we have the phenomenal trip-hop trio from Belfast, Northern Ireland, Decomposing in Paris, with us. They'll be kicking off a short U.S. tour in Charleston, West Virginia on Thursday, August 22nd at the Empty Glass. North Carolina, Tennessee, and Kentucky will all get an opportunity to see this band, and I'm lucky enough to have the three of them on the phone with me right now. Thanks a lot for being on the Definitely Loud podcast, guys.
Brilliant. Thanks so much for having us, Justin. We so happy to chat with you and so excited to kick off our tour at the Empty Glass.
Oh, no problem. It's a pleasure having you on the podcast, and I'm really looking forward to the show this week. Now, I know that you're all from different parts of the world. If you don't mind, go ahead and introduce yourselves, where you're from, and how you contribute to the group.
I'm Becca Hopkins. I'm the lead singer, frontwoman of the group. I'm originally from Ashland, Kentucky. I moved to Belfast about 7 years ago, and I have been working with these folks for about 3 years now. And yeah, I'm a professional singer. That's all I do.
I'm Aoife. I come from Donegal in Ireland, which is the Republic of Ireland, not Northern Ireland, which we'll hear about in a minute. And I play all the keys in the band and also program and play majority of the drums, although Clemens does have his time as well. So
I'm Clemens. I'm the local boy from Belfast, and I play guitar, drums, whatever. No, nonsense. I play guitar, bass, and I do some production.
Cool. Now, I know that collectively Decomposing in Paris is often compared to acts like Bjork, Portishead, and even Radiohead. But individually, what are some of your personal influences?
That's quite a wide range. Aoife and I are both classically trained, so we pull from more that direction at times. So let's see.
you get some of Greg's piano concerto if you come to the gigs. So that's an interesting one.
It is. We have a song that definitely, it's brilliant. All right. I would pull from people like Kathy Berberian, an extended vocalist, a modern singer from the 50s. Regina Spektor's probably a huge influence as well. So that would probably be, so it'd be more extended vocal technique, and then some classical singers like Ellie Ameling, and yeah, some pop as well. Kate Bush, she's a goddess as well. What about you, Aoife?
I really like Muse. That's a big one, especially for all the piano stuff. Kind of like to take some of his ideas and make them my own a wee bit. And then drum-wise, well, I don't know. I like everything drum-wise, so it's very complicated, as you will hear if you come to the gig.
Definitely ethnic influences in your drum.
Oh yeah, African drums, absolutely love it. Yeah.
I like anything from sort of Jeff Buckley to Tom Waits, Radiohead, Portishead, lots of heads. A lot of stuff.
He's our chief songwriter, and you can definitely hear some Buckley influence in the songwriting for sure.
Not so much Tom Waits.
He's a good songwriter, just not a good, not the best singing influence.
I think he's a brilliant guy, but yeah. I think I was warped as a child. My dad would listen to nothing else, so it's like, I'm done with Tom Waits. Sorry, man.
Now, who gets the credit for starting the group, and how did it happen?
Garvin and I have been making music together pretty much since I moved. About 7 years ago, we went to a tech together, studied music, and we did some music there. And he and we recorded a track with a different band, art track Ambition, that you'll hear if you come to the show, that starts with the Grieg Sonata. We recorded that with a different band, and Garvin reproduced it in a trip-hop style. And so when Clemens did that, it was really brilliant, and we just thought, okay, actually, this might be a direction we would want to go. And Aoife and I were studying at university together, and I asked her to come along and see if there was anything she would want to, because we had done some ensemble work at university together, and she and I really clicked, and thought, she'd come along and see if there was anything she'd like to add, and there was plenty, and the rest is history.
Great. Well, I know that the title track for your EP, Personal Ad, is a little bit about how the band got together. Do you mind telling us a little bit about the song and go ahead and introduce it for us? We'll give our listeners a chance to hear the song, and we'll come back with the rest of the interview.
This song is titled Personal Ad. It's the title track from our debut EP, which you'll be able to purchase at the gig. This song is, it's about putting the band together, and a search for finding the right match, but also not looking back and moving forward, and taking who you are and where you've come from and letting it make you who you are now. So here it is, Personal Ad.
Little girl seeking friends to make music with, and but they pretend. I got lost long ago, couldn't tell the cobwebs from the snow. But now I'm back and things have changed. Everything's different now, but I'm gonna say, seems the wind just takes a different course. The past can leave you with no remorse, no remorse. Little girl seeking friends to make music with, and they pretend. I got lost long ago, couldn't tell the cobwebs from the snow. Things have changed. Everything's different now, but I'm gonna say, seems the wind just takes a different course. The past can leave you with no remorse, no remorse. Little girl seeking friends to make music with, and they pretend. I got lost long ago, couldn't tell the cobwebs from the snow.
That was the song Personal Ad by the band Decomposing in Paris. Now, guys, that's a really interesting band name. Does the name Decomposing in Paris have a particular meaning?
In 2 words, Père Lachaise.
It's 3 words.
Is it? My French is woeful. It's a graveyard in Paris. Not that we're taking, our influence from graveyard, but it's a graveyard in Paris where several of our direct influences and our heroes are currently decomposing. Henry Duparc is there, and his writing had a huge impact on my singing, and Jim Morrison, and he doesn't love Jim Morrison, and so on. So a lot of our heroes are there, and then we like the idea of the play on decomposing and composing and kind of deconstructing music and then rebuilding it,
Oh, yeah, definitely. Now, have you guys been to the United States before as a band?
No. Now, Clements and I have traveled, seeing family and stuff, and Aoife's got family in Richmond. So we're in the States all the time. But this is the first time we're going to be coming as a band and performing as Decomposing in Paris.
Okay. So for an American audience or someone who hasn't seen or heard you before, what would you have these audiences expect for their first time at a Decomposing in Paris show?
A magical fairy tale trip-tastic experience. The show we've put together, we're really excited about, and it's definitely a journey. Like we've been talking about, the kind of unspecific genre, the pulling from lots of influences. So it's for people coming along, come with an open mind, come ready to have fun, and it's going to be trippy, and it's going to be quite a journey. There's going to be, we'll make you laugh, we'll expect you to get involved and have a good time, and hopefully give you a night to remember.
Well, I don't think anybody could ask for more than that. Now, are you guys playing with anybody in particular that you're looking forward to on this tour?
In Kentucky, we're going to play with a friend of a friend of a friend, and he's singer-songwriter. His name's Will Harrelson, and his stuff's really folksy and kind of really very Kentucky, and it's going to be great to be working with a homegrown artist like that. But in Greensboro, we're going to be opening for Crystal Bright and the Silver Hands, and they are a brilliant kind of exotic cabaret act. And the lead singer, Crystal Bright, and songwriter, she's a multi-instrumentalist. What's that?
Accordion.
Yeah, she plays the accordion and the saw. Yeah, so we're really excited to see them. They're absolutely brilliant. So Greensboro should be a cracker night. Very excited about that one.
Now, the band has a really eclectic sound and pulls from a lot of different genres. So how does that influence your writing, or how do you guys put things together?
It's all different. When you speak of genre, we actually, we call ourselves trip hop, but as you'll see, it's not all absolute pure trip hop. We call ourselves anti-folk at times because of some of the subjects we cover. Not that we have a problem with folk. That's not what anti-folk is. So we ourselves, sometimes we just call ourselves alternative electronica because we don't know what genre we fit in. So to answer your question, we love pulling from everywhere and letting a song develop. I wouldn't say we're totally organic in the way things work. I mean, we're all professional musicians, and at times you do go back to the books and go, right, we need this to modulate how, the music we know, how do we make that work? But we do take a song and kind of let it write itself. As does that make any sense? The arrangement and stuff comes about. We rarely go, okay, let's write a ballad. It's more, okay, we've got the song, we've got this melody, we've got this chords. Aoife hears a good drum idea, and then we put in voicings. I go, okay, these are the vocal harmonies we want to record in, and sometimes I'll just improvise over it and pull stuff out. So it's, and then record it back in. So there's, each song is its own entity, and whatever kind of genre we have to pull from to make that happen, we do.
Great. Now, one thing that really caught my eye was a recent video that you guys put up that's available on YouTube for the song Ribbons. The song itself is very, very interesting, and so is the video. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Okay. Well, the song itself obviously comes out of personal experience, but obviously looking at issues that are happening around the world. We often talk about like Egypt and Syria and places like that at the moment whenever we're looking at real conflict. But the troubles here in Belfast have been sort of simmering again, and it brought up a lot of old emotions. And the song itself is really about not subscribing to charismatic leaders who themselves don't get their hands dirty. And the video is a whole series of images that I pulled together myself, and they all happened in Northern Ireland in my lifetime. And I spent a long time poring over documentaries and images and going through old recordings of news, and to be honest, it was just absolutely heart-wrenching. It really made me quite, unwell for a little while. So it's a subject very, very close to the heart and very, very close to home.
The reason we've chosen to do it now is what Clemens there was saying was that the troubles are simmering again, and the song for Ribbons, it's talking about going to war and receiving the medals, or fighting for a cause that maybe someone you don't fully understand, or is it really that's. And over here, just a few months ago, there was a decision to remove the Union flag from City Hall and fly it only on 17 days out of the year. And that was a compromising decision. And so the Unionists, who that's their flag, were irate. However, in England, they only do fly the flag 17 days out of the year. And they declared that it was a very nationalist decision to do that. And it was that in that instance, we were, because we've had the song there for a while, but when the Union flag came down, we realized what kind of a ribbon that represents. And here in Belfast, you see on the streets all the time, you go on one street and you see the tricolour, the Irish flag, and you go 3 streets over, or sometimes in some areas, one street right next to it, you see a street laden with Union flags. And sometimes those tensions, especially now, they're starting to boil over again.
Yeah, it's definitely a great song and an interesting video. Everyone should go check it out. We'll have a link to Ribbons by Decomposing in Paris on the website, www.deafloud.com. We'll also have the links to all the Decomposing in Paris websites and social media, including decomposinginparis.com. So tell us what's up, what's coming up next for Decomposing in Paris after the tour.
We would hope that this kind of paves the way to do more in the States. Absolutely. Though we'll probably wait another couple of years before we go back. We actually have yet to do all of Ireland and mainland UK. So that's next on the list. So that'll probably be our next year's tour. And we're going to start working on our first LP as well.
That's great. Well, we'll definitely be looking forward to that full album from Decomposing in Paris. And thanks again, guys, for being on the show. If you guys want to catch Decomposing in Paris, they're kicking off their U.S. tour on the 22nd of August. That's this Thursday at the Empty Glass in Charleston, West Virginia. You can also catch them in Greensboro, North Carolina at the Blind Tiger on the 23rd of August. In Lexington, Kentucky at Natasha's Bistro and Bar on the 4th of September, the 7th of September in Louisville, Kentucky at the Monkey Wrench, and on the 9th of September in Nashville, Tennessee at the Bongo After Hours Theater. Again, you guys, thank you so much for being on the Definitely Loud podcast. We really appreciate it.
No problem.
So much, Justin.
Thank you.
Bye.